Said, thank you, Iga Świątek, for saving women's tennis from black fatigue. Well, from American women's tennis fatigue. It's like that scrub single mother Belinda Bencic in the semifinals. Amanda Anisimova had no business being in that final. And that's why Iga beat her ass all the way back to the United States, and now Americans can go back to only caring about tennis 2 weeks out of the year doing the US Open. And the real MVPs was Iga's old hating ass fan base. They had to light her social media pages up with death threats to give her motivation to win Wimbledon after going over a year without winning any titles on tour. Now that's the type of idolization, dedication, and loyalty Iga has in her fan base. And for those ignorant Americans that was calling for a sweep of this season, I was the only American like, you need to put those brooms and dustpans away because American women's tennis is not going to sweep these European women off the court from winning a major this season. And that's why Iga came through and stopped all this American women's tennis fatigue. I'm ecstatic Polish women's tennis won another major because the tennis community tried to put a systematic critical hit out on Polish women's tennis last year. And I'm like, God damn it. Have the Polish people been through enough all throughout history? And here we go in tennis, with tennis fans trying to vilify Iga and Magda and send them back to the extermination camps while playing professional women's tennis. With Iga getting caught up using PEDs, performance-enhancing drug controversy. And those Chinese people heavily criticizing Magda for posting about a COVID sign, while in Wuhan, the epicenter where the pandemic occurred. And I came on here defending Magda. I'm like, those Chinese people want to be outraged about stuff in tennis after they caused a global pandemic that shut down the world for 2 years. And then after all that stuff the Chinese government did to try to silence Peng Shuai, remember that? And plus, Chinese people eat cats and dogs. They eat their pets for dinner. So the Chinese people are the last people to be outraged about something in tennis. And yes, Iga winning Wimbledon is good for women's tennis because Iga stopped the WTA, the USTA, the United States Tennis Association, American women's tennis fatigue. And I'm sure all the European tennis fans that was getting tired of American women's tennis winning all the majors would happily agree with me. Hell, I'm American and I was getting pissed off and getting tired of hearing about American women's tennis winning majors. I'm like, why is these Americans still winning major titles when Serena Williams is not playing on tour anymore? I'm elated that Iga restored some order on this tour because this tour is getting very disorderly with Americans winning half the majors, giving the tennis community American women's tennis fatigue. And then Arena Sabalenka, useless Sasquatch build ass, letting those Americans win major titles off of her, then letting Amanda whoop her ass to get into the finals. Then it was left up to Iga, who had to get this tour back on track with European women's tennis winning Grand Slams again. Because Iga is still the pole dancing pole GOAT and a real true number one in this league. And those hating tennis fans that was saying Iga winning Wimbledon is a dirty win because she won it using PEDs, because Jannik Sinner went through the same PED suspension and he won Wimbledon. And tennis fans praised him for winning Wimbledon and he's still very much beloved on the men's tour. So tennis fans need to cease with being biased and holding women to higher standards than they do with the male tennis players when they get caught up in the same controversies of using performance enhancing drugs.